Alright guys, so it's been a little more than a week now since the release of Mystic Flower, so I wanted to go and update the PvP tier list as well as the PvE, but we're going to start out with the PvP, and this time around we did a little bit different thing here for the tier list because I actually went and live streamed the making of this tier list and kind of discussed it with the viewers to see what their thoughts were as well. So this is going to be a little bit more of a collaborative tier list for June 2024 tier list before the Caramel Arrow, but after the Mystic Flower as well as Cloud Haetae. And again, this is going to be based on the opinions of myself as well as the viewers. So here we go, guys. Starting out with the D tier is going to be, of course, Sonic as well as Tails all the way down to Tiger Lily. This doesn't really change here much. The D tier is going to be the cookies that you stay away from. And then we have C tier from Candy Diver all the way up to Cherry Blossom. Also, doesn't really change here much. They're all the same. They're all pretty bad cookies. You don't really want to use them. Maybe in the future with Caramel Arrow, we might see Mint Choco come back. And then from the B tier is going to be from Caramel Arrow all the way down to Prophet Cookie. So the ones that we're looking out for is probably going to be, as of right now, Caramel Arrow. That one's the one that's confirmed as of right now. So we do know Caramel Arrow's Magic Candy is coming out in about 5 or so days. All right. And with that, most likely Caramel Arrow is going to come back to the arena. We just don't know exactly what kind of Magic Candy effects and abilities we're going to get added. So we'll see when that happens. But Caramel Arrow getting a Magic Candy very soon, and I'm excited to see exactly what that's going to be. And with that, we're going to move on to the A tier. And A tier, we've moved down a ton of different cookies, and A tier is probably the one that's just very average. Like, these cookies can be used, to play in the arena for a little bit, but you're just going to have to sooner or later switch them out. And that's going to start out from Mercurial Knight all the way down to Caramel Shoe. All right, so the ones that have come down from the S tier as of right now is going to be for Capsaicin as well as Sorbet, Mango, and Squid Ink. I think that was pretty much what I've moved down. Or maybe for a Jellyfish I also moved down. I don't exactly remember which one I put in S tier, but all of these cookies are pretty much outdated as of right now. The one that we can kind of look forward to, or I mean I'm actually really looking forward to, is going to be our Dark Cacao. Dark Cacao is most likely going to come back with the update. Don't know exactly when that's going to happen. It doesn't seem like it's going to be part 2 of the update that we have for Mystic Flower, possibly the next one after. So we'll see how this one goes, but yeah, Dark Cacao needs that buff, needs that upgrade, and with it, most likely we're going to see a comp come out for Dark Cacao again. All right, we'll just have to see what kind of buffs are coming for this man. All right, so that's going to be A tier. Again, the cookies that are pretty average, sometimes very specific to a team as well, like Queen of Man as well as Madeline. But, they are pretty decent and can be used, but probably not recommended too much. All right, and then the S tier are going to be from Moonlight to Sea Fairy, Tea Knight, Pattaya, Wallberry, Captain Caviar, Shining Glitter, Black Lemonade, Sherbet, Snow Sugar, as well as Linzer. We have Silver Bell, we have Peppermint, Pure Vanilla, as well as Rockstar, Cream Puff, and our BTS. So, I have added Snow Sugar in here. A lot of people were asking where Snow Sugar was. Snow Sugar was kind of like sitting right here in the bottom. Completely forgot to add them. But we do have the supports. The best ones out of these guys are going to be for sure Pure Vanilla, Rockstar, as well as Cream Puff. And then the other ones, they're decent, but they're not like great either, but they're not as bad as some of the A tier. So that's the reason why I'm still keeping them at S. They are decent, support as well as healers that you guys can use for your teams. We have Linzer that has moved down as well. We have Captain Caviar also moved down because they are not really used much inside of the arena, especially with Captain Caviar. The burst damage is great, but with Mystic Flowers now coming around inside of the arena meta, less and less are being used because of all the shield and the buffs that we're getting. And yeah, rest of them, they have been here for a while. I was debating whether I want to put down Pattaya or not, but Pattaya apparently is being still used inside of the lower ranks. And, overall, generally, the cookie is not terrible. Definitely stronger than most of the cookies up here, if not all. So I will keep Haetae at S tier for right now. All right, so now moving on to where it really matters. It's going to be meta cookies as well as the SS tier. All right, so the meta tier is actually very, 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 specific. And right now it's a lot smaller than it used to be. So let's start it out. Here is going to be with Stormbringer as well as Elder Fairy, Hollaberry, as well as Financier. So these 4 are going to be your main tanks. These 4 are going to be the ones that you'll see majority of in like 98% of all the comps that are going to be inside of the top ranking players. You're going to see a combination of either Stormbringer or Financier. You're going to see a combination of Stormbringer or Elder Fairy, or you're going to see a combination of something like Stormbringer, Hollaberry, Financier, or even Hollaberry, Elder Fairy, Financier. It's, you get the point here. So you're going to see a lot of combination of these 4, but these 4 are the main 4 tanks. You're not going to see a lot of any of the other ones, really, except maybe, later on you'll see something like Burnt Cheese, Haetae, and stuff like that. But in the higher ranking, where generally Elite 2 and above are, this is going to be where the arena is going to be at, the 4 tanks. All right, mainly Stormbringer being number 1 pick out of all of them, and then most likely like Elder Fairy / Financier, and then Hollaberry is still very, very good with the damage focus and the, soaking of the damage. All right, next one is going to be the DPS, and then it's going to be Frost Queen, White Lily, Golden Cheese, as well as Blueberry Pie. So another 4 DPS as well. You're going to see a combination of Frost Queen, White Lily. You're going to see a combination of Frost Queen, Golden Cheese. You might see Frost Queen by herself. You might see White Lily by herself. You might also see Blueberry Pie by herself because of the fact that Stormbringer is just absolutely insane. Blueberry Pie's damage is absolutely insane with the Magic Candy. So these are going to be the main 4 DPSs with the main 4 tanks as well. And the support / healers are actually really, really simple. It's just going to be Mystic Flower as well as Icicle Yeti. These are the only 2 real options that you're going to really see inside of the arena right now. So Mystic Flower, no-brainer. Absolutely the beast of a healer as of right now. It kind of reminds me of how Pure Vanilla was when he was released, but, that was really, really long time ago and not much effect. It was just burst heal and shield. But Mystic Flower has way more than that now. Okay, but if you don't have Mystic Flower, the only other real option you're going to see inside of the higher tier rank of the arena is going to be Icicle Yeti. You're really just going to see Icicle Yeti, and that's about it. All right, so I would say, use Icicle Yeti if you don't have Mystic Flower. If you have Mystic Flower, use Mystic Flower. And that's pretty much what the meta is, guys. You're not going to see a ton of other stuff except for like specific, cookies that are going to fit into different tiers, into different teams, and you're going to see that in the SS tier. So let's move on to that. And that's going to be with Crimson Coral as well as Strawberry Crepe, Fettuccine, Burnt Cheese, as well as Rebel with Cloud Haetae. So this is going to be the frontliners. Rebel is technically an ambush, but frontliner for me. So that's why I'm putting it as a frontliner. So Crimson Coral, definitely not as bad as an S tier, but still not as good as meta tier anymore, especially with the release of Stormbringer. A great counter to Coral comps is Blueberry Pie as well. And just the restriction of not having another tank in front except herself is kind of, hurting a lot of players as well now. Especially if you're just using Crimson Coral. I mean, it still works out, especially if you have Mystic Flower in the team. But generally, having a tank DPS like Stormbringer with Financier, who's generally a insane, healer / support tank, it's going to be a better option right now than having just Crimson Coral. Fettuccine as well as Strawberry Crepe are very situational. Fettuccine is more of a budget Elder Fairy, with Strawberry Crepe having the Magic Candy, having the damage resist as well as shield. Helps out, especially when Mystic Flower is around. And then we have Burnt Cheese as well as Rebel. They're still being used here and there depending on the team, but generally for one-shot variations. Not really scam comps anymore, like a straightforward one-shots, but variations of those are coming out with Mystic Flower being used. All right, and then Cloud Haetae, great tank, especially against Mystic Flower and even with Mystic Flower. And the healing, the stun, the shielding all works out, so it's going to be an SS tier in my opinion. All right, next one is going to be the DPS with Black Pearl, Creme Brulee, as well as Stardust, as well as Twizzly. So Black Pearl, you might be wondering why SS still with the damage resist bypass, all right, with the skill. The damage is, not as super crazy or anything like that, but still pretty good. And, we still have Black Pearl just kind of just there in between the, the SS and the meta. Just hopefully maybe we'll see her come back. But the real downside to her is that her skill is really late, as well as she can be very squishy if she's not using her skill to dodge. So that's the main reason why she's here. Creme Brulee, you have seen some of the comps that I've done, and Creme Brulee somehow still works out in 2024. In June 2024 with Mystic Flower, because Mystic Flower just helps Creme Brulee survive. All right, and then we have Stardust as well as Twizzly. So Twizzly, Stormbringer comp works out very, very well. The extra damage. Stardust, Sign of the Star debuff is actually not bad either, but it's just that the damage is lacking, and you definitely want something more than just the Sign of the Star, especially with like buff protection and things like that going around inside of the arena. And then last one, the the healer slash support is going to be our Snapdragon as well as Parfait. So those two are going to be your other two options if you don't have Icicle Yeti or Mystic Flower. Snapdragon, another safeguard, of course, you already know. And then Parfait with debuff immunity, healing, defense, and debuff resist, all that good stuff. All right, I forgot to add Black Raisin. Black Raisin is going to be an S tier as well. All right, so this is pretty much going to be the tier list here, guys. I know I'm kind of covering up some of the cookies on the bottom, but they're really no use of using them. But yeah, that's going to be it. Again, we're looking out for Caramel Arrow. That's coming out real soon. And then the other ones are going to be something like Red Velvet as well as Dark Choco. We're still looking out for Dark Choco. I know Milky Way is actually getting or has a leak of Magic Candy as well. And then the last one, of course, again, is going to be Caramel Arrow from the leak. But, that one's confirmed. So we have 4 as well as, I guess, 1 that's confirmed, 3 that's leaked. And then we have our big man here, Dark Account. It's supposed to be getting an upgrade as well. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. This is going to be pretty much it for the PvP of June 2024, early June 2024, especially with Caramel Arrow might switch up again. So we'll see when that happens. But thanks for watching. You guys can always comment down below what you guys think about the tier list. Anything add, remove, change, and stuff like that. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one with the PvP tier list as well. Make sure to check out the other videos on the screen in front of you.